Hi guys, it's Ryan from leprivatebanker.com. Finally got my new microphone in. I've got a studio recording mic and still seem to be having the same interference problem, so I do apologise for that. What I've come to the conclusion to that it's a ground loop effect on my computer, and there's nothing I can do about this at the moment. I am in touch at the moment with Dell support, and hopefully they will help me fix this issue next week, as it is 100% not a microphone issue now, and as the problem is still assisting after months and different types of microphones. I've tried USB, analog, all sorts of things here. So anyway, this microphone is a lot more better quality, so it should help with the recording, even though there is still some interference in the background. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the point now and do some analysis on the markets at the moment and what I've been looking at. So just going to touch base on crude oil here and what I've been observing this week. So with crude, what we did is we opened inside week towards the lows. I mean, we did have contract rollover, so the back adjusted data has changed slightly, but we're dealing with the same scenarios here, and gonna just quickly touch base on the weekly charts, and you can see that we are in a bull channel here, and we are testing support into this $90 a barrel area, and we have found support, and we have found buyers from the $90 a barrel area holding support here for the time being. We did have a spike higher this week, and we took out any potential one-time framing down here, suggesting that two-way trade is back into the market now. So as long as we do hold this key support, like I said, at this $90 a barrel, then we'll have to see how things play out here. But we do have a clear sort of a range, a price range here from $95 a barrel down to 90. And we could see continued two-way trade balance in the market until we see a next directional move, either being to the upside and back to $100 a barrel, taking out some key levels into $96, or we could potentially see a breakdown and a breakout of this channel, where we will target these lower fractals into the lower $85 a barrel area. So just some key context to look for pushing forward here, and trying to find the path of least resistance on the macro timeframes. So just quickly touching base here on this week, and as I said, this week we opened up just below last week's value, and into this excess low on the previous week, and we see responsive buying just straight off the open to the prior week's mean price, and we did see some two-way trade come into the market as prices are accepted here intermediately, and then we see a spike higher into the close into that K period for last Monday, and then the next day we opened up and we see this nice breakout rally coming up and testing a previous value area higher here, and you can see that literally the market became imbalanced, and we auctioned higher until we found some sellers and some potential profit taken into this $94 a barrel area, as I said, it being a previous value area higher from a previous week. And since then, two-way trades sort of came back into the market. We had this, just quickly show you, we had this big two engulfing days higher, and then we had an inside balance day, and we tested the 5 exponential moving average, and we just didn't find any offer here and move higher. So what we did is price came in, and we basically just engulfed that whole previous day's range there into that low. The low was 91.77, and we put a low in of 91.82. So there was some key stops here below this sort of 91.77, and as you can see on Friday we came in and we ran these stops below this key level here. So we still have this strong buy and excess tail on the week, and but you can see that two-way trade clearly came into the market, and we auctioned lower to potentially find more buyers here. If we quickly look at this on the weekly Vwap, just give me 2 seconds. You can see here that we see the imbalance off of the week start, and So we see responsive buying, we see an imbalance. We see this nice breakout here, which was on the Tuesday, and the market became very imbalanced, and we start to reference that 1.5 standard deviation. We then came to that previous value area high, two-way trade come back into the market with some short-term balance in the market here. And you can see that we just failed to move higher here. The imbalance was over, the market came back into balance, and we started to see two-way trade in the market. We didn't see a reversion to the mean and a destination trade to the other side, which we actually tested the previous week's Vwap again here, and finding support into this $91.20 a barrel area. And there's some key context with this. So we see imbalance, and then we see balance come back into the market with a destination trade to the other side of value. So the market auctioned back down to the value area low to find buyers here in this scenario. If we look at the monthly developing values, you can also see here that that we've been rejecting the previous. I'm just going to double check this is lining up, because we have had contract rollover, and as you can see, it hasn't. So it's bear with me while I adjust it. Okay, so this is correct now. So you can see that we previously this month we auctioned down to a naked value area from a previous month. And we see rejection from this area, which happened to be into this low $90 a barrel area, and we see this bottom formed as buyers and profit taking start to step into this area, and then we see this nice responsive buying, which we went from one side of value to the other, 1.5 to the 1.5 into that previous VPUC area, and from there we see what looked like liquidation, and we just see two-way trade go back into the market, and again we just auction back down. And there are some sort of key areas on this volume composite here, and you can see this extreme ledge into this 90.55, where it looks like buyers were capping sellers out of this value area, and you can see this very strong ledge here, and you can see a low volume node in here where we've not traded much. It's been pretty much the line in the sand. I mean, we sort of popped above it and then we popped below it. I mean, we have not spent a lot of time trading in this $92.50 a barrel area on this back adjusted contract. So just some key context here, but we are still looking very rotational on the month. We have overlapping slightly lower value so far, and we haven't really got too much longer left of the month now. I mean, we've got like another sort of 5 to 8 potential trading days left, off the top of my head, left of this month. So it does look like we are closing this month out with lower overlapping value here. So you can see that the sellers are starting to become weaker here, as the value areas are not disconnecting as such. Just going to quickly touch base on what we saw on Friday here. I mean, what we have seen, this bearish channel has been in place, and you can see the multiple cycles as the bearish cycles have been coming into the market. You can see the clear support that we've seen coming into this $90 barrel area, which has been this low volume node on the long term composites here. We've seen just sort of two-way trade in this lower distribution that we can see here. And you can see that we popped up and we held the channel highs, and just going to adjust this slightly. You can see that we held the channel highs. So until this breaks, and we see a breakout and a new trend forming, that this bearish trend is still intact. So there's something to be aware of pushing forward here into next week until into the month's end. I mean, we have got some pretty strong buying tails here into this low 90s, but as I said, for the moment we are holding this bearish trend, and we have not managed to make a higher high yet. So until we've made a lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, this bearish cycle still remains intact for the moment. So that's something to be aware of here. Moving forward, this is the same chart on a 240-minute perspective, and I have got a potential short-term, obviously bullish channel forming here. Just for references, I mean, if we break down of this next week, then this is just this is not anything to put any any weight on. I'm just looking to see if we can hold a lower low and put a higher high in and break out of this channel and see an uptrend form here. So if not, we'll break down and we'll most likely auction. We'll take out this $90 a barrel, and we'll auction lower into this next support level, which happens to be into the sort of $85 a barrel area, which is the next potential rotation down. If we do look at the value tracking composites, the way that I've been tracking this, we've got these sort of intermediate term micro balance areas, and this was a large 26 day balance area. Then we then auctioned lower below it, and we found buyers. We found two-way trade. Last week we broke out, and we came up and we tested this sort of key $95 a barrel area where there's just a lot of time price opportunity and volume traded up there. And we found sellers, and we rejected this area, and we auctioned down back into this previous VPUC and point of control area, where we found support. So interesting to see next week whether we clean up here the excess here, or we just auction higher and clean up this trade from last week, or we just see again a complete disconnect down and when we break support. So just sort of some key things to look at pushing into next week. An interesting thing is what we saw on Friday is we opened inside day. On the day we had overnight value established lower, and we opened inside day like I said, and we instantly rejected inside day, and we see this accumulation of absorption here from what looked like buyers on the developing value area low for the day. And we see I started to position myself long from this area, and we see this nice move up to the previous value and to the 5 exponential moving average. And you can see here that basically sellers just capped off buyers here, and we see an aggressive seller come in. They push the market down. We see this little two-way trade at the previous day's lows as buyers were trying to step in, it looked like, and push price back up. I obviously scaled out my core position here into this area, and I was looking to try and push the market back up into value and hold an inside day, but the market had a different idea, and you can clearly see here that Delta just broke below zero here as aggressive sellers just came into the market, and you can see all the stops get run below this 91.54 area. So all the stops got run, and then into this next sort of support area, into this previous days, let's just show you, it was into this Globex low, which was at 91.32, and there was a VPUC at this 91.15, and as you can see the market just got capped off here. So we see this aggressive sell-off into support, and what looked like buyers were stepping in, absorbing sellers here, and the market just couldn't push below this level. So what we see for the rest of the day is just two-way trade come in. I mean, I was expecting a possible breakdown, but and a further push below here, as we see a poor low put in on the day. But you can clearly see that we opened inside day, we auctioned lower, we found a buyer, we see a nice push higher into this day, and we just couldn't trade above this lower distribution from that sell-off on the previous day. On the C period, we broke the 1 time frame in, giving us a heads up that two-way trade was coming back into the market, and for the rest of the day we just balanced in this lower area. And what it did look like is that there was buyers here, and when we see this delta divergence into the low, and then for the rest of the day we just see buyers stepping in, buying these lower prices and absorbing. So as you can see, we had this sort of balance area forming, and we have closed back up inside this support into this sort of 91.70. So depending on how we open next week, we could potentially see rotations back up to this sort of 93.60, and if we do see a clear break disconnect of this below this 91.30 area, then the expectation is to come back down and take out these sort of key lows on the RTH pit session. I mean, these blue lines here are just the lows on the Globex session. So like I said, if we do break below this 91.30, then the expectation is to come take out 90.15, 89.60, 89.50 and 89.31, and potentially run the stops below these areas. So we'll just we'll see how things pan out next week, but it does look like we are starting to establish a higher value on the week, but we'll just have to see. I mean, we are at a key level on the year. I mean, we're sort of been battling with the developing value area low, so if we do continue to hold this year's developing value, then the expectations is to rotate back to the mean and to the high. So I mean 97.50, 98.70, and $95 a barrel are key levels to the upside here if we do break. I mean, there are some key levels where there's going to be stops, so 94.90 and 95.60, there are key levels here. And obviously now as well, this 94.06, there are going to be some key stops up here. And obviously to the sell side, the key stops at the moment are below these two fractal lows. So big heads up on what we do here. And I think a major level to keep an eye on is this 91.30 pushing forward next week. I think that's pretty much it for crude oil at the minute. Finally got, like I said, this microphone back up and running, so I'll start trying to get these recaps and the daily trade done a bit more often. Anyway, if you do have any questions, then please do not hesitate to ask. And if you're not a part of the online community, then please check out our website at leprivatebanker.com. All the information about us and the education and the strategies we provide are on here. And alternatively, you can join the online forum, which is forum.leprivatebanker.com, and we have an awesome online community growing here of traders. So please come ask questions and participate. Any questions, please email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Take care and goodbye.